Okay, so we've talked about how Rudolf Steiner looked into technological advancements. We've seen what the dangers are, or the perceived dangers are, of technology used especially in schools and Waldorf schools in specific. But there should be actually a way to make use of all this huge opportunity and potential that is opening up with the use of technologies, right? Let me take a moment to give you a personal example that we also talked about during this evening. When AI started, when ChatGPT actually started becoming a thing and used by the public, we were talking with Nikos, my husband, about what I would like to do work-wise once the kids are a bit older and I have time to actually work on the things that make my life even more meaningful, or give another layer of meaning anyway. And I said, I really love writing, you know, I'm a writer, I want to keep doing that. And he said, well, you do have a problem with ChatGPT because it can already produce a great quality text. And I was at first in shock. Then I decided to chat a bit with ChatGPT and see what it could and could not do. And in the end I decided to learn to use it as a tool for my writing. So instead of actually writing with it and then maybe correcting it and stuff like that, to use it for my research. So instead of Googling and having 10 tabs open, just ask ChatGPT, you know, what day did this happen, what was the place, or can you give me ideas about names of heroes and stuff like that. But not allow it to take away my own humanity, my own authenticity, my own voice as a writer. In that sense, I feel that technology can actually be very beneficial for kids. If you ask my personal opinion, which also aligns with the opinion of Mr. Swanenberg, I will link his website down below. It is that elementary school kids, at least until grade, you know, 6th grade, or, you know, they don't actually need to use media. They don't need to use computers to make their school assignments. These things are not necessary. They need to play, they need to develop their fine motor skills, they need to develop their interpersonal relationships, they need to learn to be kind, compassionate towards each other. They need to focus on those things. These are big things. They take time and they take practice to develop. But at some point when kids go to high school, like from the age 12, 13, 14, it is good to know how to use technologies. And they are a way to also build human relationships. They are a very good tool also for introverts to connect with each other, to make friends. And in that way, they are not evil. But there need to be specific limits. And this is something that falls to the parents to do. It is really important to know what programs your child is using, to have the overview, to have parental controls. And there were many parents who said, you know, but if you set up parental controls, then the child might lose their inner motivation and they might not develop their own sense of when is it time to stop. But the thing is, it's the same with sweets, you know. These things are built to be addictive. Sweets and snacks and fatty foods and fast food is built to be addictive. And the same is with social media. It's not a fair game. You are basically leaving your kid helpless when you let them in young ages to deal with these things on their own. Boundaries are good for them. And you can be open about it. You can say, you know, I have the parental control set up, you have half an hour of Facebook today. And when it's done, the kid knows you've done it, you've set it up, it is what it is. Are they having a super important chat with a friend who just broke up with their boyfriend and they want to talk a bit more? Talk about it. See if you can this day, you know, give them a bit extra time because it's a special occasion. But in general, having specific rules set that the kids know this is how it is helps a lot in order to keep things under control. Occasionally checking their chats with their permission and not in secret is also a good idea for younger kids. This way you can really, you know, you can see signs of bullying before your own child even realizes them, like gaslighting from friends and this kind of stuff. And you can also, it's very important to talk with them openly about this kind of stuff. So you can casually ask, you know, what are you guys talking with your group of friends on the chat? Don't expect to get all the details, but you know, they can tell you, oh, you know, we talk about football, or we talk about boys or girls, or we talk about friendships, or we talk about school, you know, and you can take it from there. It is very important to talk with your kids, especially older kids, about how they present themselves online, how exposed they are, how they protect themselves, how would they go about if an adult approaches them online, these kind of things. So keep an open line of communication. Find a good time to do it, not in the middle of a fight when you've just taken away their smartphone or whatever, when they're calm, when on a neutral moment, you know. It is really good to actually, especially for younger kids, have a clear platform without ads, like a paid platform like Netflix or Habo, you know, for your kids, instead of YouTube where you get all these ads in between. Because then you know what your child is watching. Actually, they're not exposed to, you know, violent images or things like that that pop up unexpectedly. It is really good to actually make sure that your child never takes their phone in bed with them. And it is actually a very good rule for us adults as well, that, you know, phones stay out in the living room or downstairs or wherever, but they don't come in the bedroom. Where was I? I think sleep. Yeah, so about sleep, there have been studies that show that actually kids that do not have a limit when it comes to a restriction when it comes to taking the bed with them at night, they end up sleeping very late, and we are talking elementary school kids that sleep at 1 o'clock at night because they're busy playing. And you know, there are innocent games out there that are also creative, and you learn a lot from, like Fortnite, I was told, and Roblox. I'm not familiar because my kids are not at that stage yet. But again, even with these games, when you end up playing until 2 o'clock at night, you know, your sleep quality is compromised. This means higher stress hormone levels, you're less resilient, you can't deal with big emotions that easily, your brain is just silent, you cannot learn that well in the morning at school. Bad sleep is also linked to obesity. I mean, there are so many things that are linked to sleep. So it is really a shame for adults and children alike to compromise your quality of sleep because of the use of media. And then again, a very big, of course, thing is that we have to set a good example. So if your child sees you all the time with a screen at hand, it's only normal that they will do the same. I have chosen not to have a smartphone exactly for this reason, and because I know these things are built to be addictive. And even in that case, my middle daughter told me, I showed them a video of a monkey that had found a stray kitten and had the kitten, like, you know, in her arms and was taking care of the kitten. And my middle daughter actually told me, oh, that's like you and your laptop. You don't want anyone going near your laptop. And I was a bit shaken. And I asked her, like, is it the last weeks or so, or is it the longer time? She said, no, now the last weeks. And it is actually true, because I'm waiting for some important emails. I keep checking back, you know, my mind is there. But it was a really good slap in the face of, you know, you don't live in the here and now. You live in this, you live in your mailbox, actually. And even though I don't have a smartphone, I will still sneak into the kitchen and check onto my emails. And I do work online also for my illustrations, and I don't want a glass of water to be spilled there, but I also want to be with the kids. So, you know, it's the computer is there, clay is there, watercolors are there. So you need to keep these things separated as much as you can. I struggle, but I'm conscious of it. I'm trying to improve it. So yeah, try when you're around your kids not to be with the screen all the time. Try if you can have screen-free slots within the day. For me, it's definitely at the dinner table, for sure, no screens allowed. So yeah, but I have to say, my kids, my oldest is 9 and she has no interest in media, like very minimal. My middle one is more interested in, you know, watching more screen time if she could. I think she would love to play games as well online if she could. So I do expect from her she's more awake to what other people do around her classmates. She has mentioned that classmates have phones, these kind of things, which my oldest never did and doesn't care about it. So, but until now they're still at an age that we can very easily say you have half an hour of screen time per day. Weekends you can watch a movie, that's that. And until now they only have passive engagement with media and not active engagement, which means no gaming just yet. Not because we have strictly forbidden it, but thankfully, because we are in the Waldorf school bubble, it doesn't come a lot at school as well, so I think they don't see it a lot with classmates, so they don't ask for it, maybe. I don't know, we are also not gamers, so I can imagine if it is part of the entertainment of the house, it's harder to, you know, it will come sooner into your house. You will have to make decisions sooner. And last but not least, use the 2022 rule, which is, it was during the corona times, especially during the lockdowns, that a lot of opticians noticed that kids have big eye problems. This 20 minutes screen and then 20 minutes look far away into the horizon so that your eye muscles relax. And then it's just 20 seconds, it's not a lot, but you do need to do that. It will benefit your eyes a lot. And then 2 hours of outdoor play. I know it sounds like a lot, especially for schools like for your standard school that you have class after class after class. Our kids get a lot of outdoor time at school as well, and we are quite outdoorsy, me more than my husband, but kids do get outdoor time. We are blessed, like we do have a garden, so they are also outside even when we are still in, even with bad weather. But try to do that, especially the 20-minute screen time and 2 minutes of looking far away. There is no minimum or maximum standard for when screen starts to become harmful for kids. So I'm sorry that there is no black and white, black or white, I'm sorry, answer. We were told. So yeah, if you have a more modern insight on that, do let me know. But apparently research has not concluded yet on that one. And yeah, the whole idea is to engage with your kids with technology into meaningful projects. And also fun projects, like you can play an online game together for a specific amount of time for fun, and then it becomes family time. You can do a project together, you can watch a YouTube video together with instructions on how to build something, or a video about how something is made or done when it comes to technology. You know, you can look for information online, you can teach your kids how to think critically about information, and this is also something that schools can do. So even on elementary school level, yes, parents are responsible for their children's use of technology, but at school they can also be taught, like they are taught about consent when it comes to human relationships, they can be taught about technological literacy and how to keep safe online and how you could use technology in a way that is useful. And these talks can start much earlier than actually the moment that you start using a screen. And to wrap it up with a more like a Steiner approach of more like a head, soul, hands, you know, the whole human being. The first thing is to think about technology, have the knowledge, what programs are used, how they're used, who is using them, for which age groups they are more appropriate or not appropriate. The second is feeling. How do I use social media? Do I feel good when I use social media, or do I feel threatened or unsafe? How do I treat others in social media? Do I hurt people's feelings? Am I mean online? And then our will. What do I want to do with media? How can I use media in order to develop more and come closer to what is my better authentic self, you know, and also make my own media, and that can be a great form of artistic expression, which is hopefully what I'm doing here, but not art, but expressing my concerns. So that was big. I'm sure it's a lot of food for thought for many of you. If you have more thoughts, if you disagree with something, if you want more information, if you want, I will try and post also some links to the books that actually Mr. Svanenberg has recommended. And I would love to see you going into discussion in the comments with each other about how you navigate media, especially within the Waldorf community. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.